So today we're going to take a look at how to load the data into Python, which you run from your browser on your own computer. Okay, every file that we have read so far was kind of supplied. Now, reminder. Okay, this is, I believe, what we did, right? We used actually Seaborn library in order to read the data. Remember, we used to read a couple of files, right? One of them was called Iris. It's like data about flowers, right? Like sepal length and petal length and all this stuff, right? And another data that we read was tips, right? Like tips in the restaurants. So what we did is, first we imported, so we said, let's import Seaborn library, right? Seaborn and we called it SNS, right? That's how Python community, for some reason, calls Seaborn library, right? SNS. And when you run it, it should put an asterisk and then put a number after that, which means that, yeah, you imported the library. And after that, for example, tips, right? Tips. Let's do it again. So we're going to say SNS, so the Seaborn library dot, I believe, load underscore dataset. Okay, and after that, all you have to do is say dataset name, right? Iris. No, tips, right? That was tips. So SNS load dataset tips, and you don't have to specify anything else, right? It will find the file with tips. So if I run it, done, right? Number 2 right here indicates that that line of code was executed. And after that, I can just go ahead and add a new line and say, well, show me what's inside this variable, tips, and it will print out everything, right? Well, not everything. We'll put a break here. It will say, yeah, not going to show you all 242 records. So here is the beginning and here is the end, okay? So this file was, why didn't we do anything? We just basically said, yep, data file is named tips. Because tips was part of installation, right? It's installed already on our machine. When the Seaborn library was installed on your machines, file with data, tips, was already installed. So you don't have to specify anything really, okay? But oftentimes what we need to do is read the data from the file which we supply, right? Which we create, okay? And in this case, you have to do something else. So the package, which is probably one of the most popular packages in Python for reading the data, okay, is called pandas. As in, you know, funky bears, right? But it really stands for, I believe, panoramic data. Okay, I don't know what S stands for. So let's go ahead and scroll at the very bottom and add another line of code. So literally, let's type this and pray it works. Pray that this thing is installed on our machines, right? Import pandas, pandas, okay, with S at the end. And just like with Seaborn, we're going to give it like an acronym, right? Again, Python community oftentimes abbreviates pandas to PD for obvious reason, okay? So pandas is the library, and go ahead and run it and see if you get a number. Did it load? So there was no error, right? I can't find the package, blah, 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 nothing quite like that, right? It did load, okay, good. So pandas is extremely popular package for reading the data, for manipulating with external data, okay? So here's what we're going to do. Go ahead and go to Scholar, okay? I'm going to show you a couple of ways how to do the same exact thing, okay? And in Scholar, go to our course, Advanced Topics in Management, right? And there should be a link that says data files, right? Yesterday I posted this link. I didn't send you an email. I just posted this link right here, okay? HTTPS storage google apis.com blah blah blah, and at the end you will see what does it say?
CSV.
California housing, yeah, train means what? Not the train, not the choo-choo train kind of thing. Train means in the context of the data analytics. Training set, right? It's a training set. .csv. CSV is what? comma separated value. Okay. In fact, we can look at this file. So the only thing that you need to do is copy this link. Okay. And paste it in the browser. So open up a new tab, paste the link, and when you hit enter, it will download on your computer. Correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
17,000
records. Yeah. So that's a pretty big file, right? So here is the file. Okay. It contains, I believe, the data about a certain neighborhood in California. It can be Los Angeles, probably. Okay, where they like take a city block. Okay, and for the city block, they put the center, that would be longitude and latitude, and total number of what are the column names? Median age in years, right? What's the median age of the house in this block, right? Total number of rooms, okay? So this city block contains 5,612 rooms. Total number of bedrooms, right? Then population in terms of, I don't know, number of people probably, right? Number of households living in the city block. Next one is median income, which is a little weird, right? It says 1.4936. I don't know what that means. And median house value. Okay. Again, for California, that doesn't seem like a realistic number, right? Can you imagine a house in California that costs $66,900? That doesn't exist, right? More like $669,000. Yeah, that would be a realistic figure, 10 times. Anyhow, so this is the data set. We just downloaded that from the URL essential, right? So this URL, which you copy pasted, it contains the link. Oh, my daughter is online. Good. All right. It contains the link. The link contains the file, right? So let's actually read it straight from the file. Straight from the link. Okay, straight from the web. So the only thing that I have to do is switch to pandas. No, not pandas. The Jupyter Notebook, right? And I imported pandas already. I told you that pandas is the library which enables you to read and manipulate the data frames. Data frame. This is a data frame. Okay. What we just created, the tips, the variable tips, is actually a data frame. Okay. It's like a table which contains columns and records. Every record is a certain bill, right, from the restaurant, and the columns, they have different data types, right? So the column total bill is a numerical value, right? The tip is also numerical value. Sex, female versus male, is a categorical. It's a string real, etc., etc. Okay, so it looks a lot like Excel spreadsheet, right? Table. So pandas allows you to do exactly that. Manipulate the data, read the data in and out of the file. Okay. So let's import that exact file, which we just downloaded from the URL, straight into the data frame inside Python. So I'm going to create the data frame called housing. Right? Housing. I'm going to say housing equal. So that's going to be the name of my variable, which contains, essentially, it's going to be a data frame, which contains the whole, how many records, Louis? 17,000 records. So I'm going to say housing equals to PD, meaning what? I'm calling the pandas, right? Library. PD is the abbreviation which I used for the pandas library. Okay, and read underscore CSV. Okay, all lowercase, case sensitive, and then open and close brackets, and inside the brackets, in quotation marks, I'm going to paste the URL. Okay? So the data on my computer is going to be inside this Python session in my browser, will come straight from this web address. Okay? And when I hit run button, it thinks about that and it says number 5. So when I see the number, it means that the command ran successfully, right? Now I can see the data frame. What do I do for that in order to see what's inside? Just type housing, right? That's how I called it. And when I hit run button, there it is. Okay, all 17,000 records are in my memory on this computer. Okay, So that's how you can read the data set, which was not supplied by definition with Python installation or library installation, but data set which you found on the internet, or you created it yourself from the database as a result of your SQL query or what have you. Okay. Now at the same time, I can do exactly the same thing from my computer. Okay. It doesn't have to be URL. So let me give you an example. Go back to your file which you just downloaded.
Did you just hit enter? After you copied it, what was that?
Oh, okay. That's how you can run it quickly, right? So one way to run the thing is to click on this run button, right?
No. I'm saying after you run it, what did you do to make the 10,000 record show?
Oh, just say
Housing.
housing. Yeah, that's the name of my variable, right? My data frame. Okay. All right. So let me show you how to do exactly the same thing, but from your computer. Let's say you downloaded your data file from somewhere, right? Or you extracted your data from the database using SQL, which we learned earlier this semester, right? And now the data file is saved on your computer. And that's what I'm going to do, okay? Go back to your file, which I hope you still have open, California housing _ train.csv, okay? And just save it on your desktop. So go to the menu, say save as computer, right? And go to the, where's my desktop? Desktop is right here, okay? So I'm going to save it on the desktop with the same exact name, no changes, okay? So it's going to be,
The CSV?
yeah, leave the CSV obviously, right? So just how you downloaded that, California housing train.csv. So leave it as the comma separated value, save it on your desktop, okay? Just like that. Do you want using this format? Yes. Okay. So let's see if I can find it on my desktop. So here's the desktop, right, of my computer, sort of, kinda. California something here, right? And in order to find in order to read the file, I need a path to the file, right? The folder, the location, the file name, etc., etc. So I'm going to right-click on this file, okay, and go to the file properties. And here's what it's going to tell me. It's going to tell me that your file is located in the directory C, users, your ID, desktop, yada, yada, yada. So I'm going to copy this location, okay? So essentially the path to my file, that's what it is. I'm going to copy that, all right? And let's go back to the Jupyter Notebook, okay? So what I will do is I will read it again, the file, in a different variable, okay? Let's call it housing2. So my variable is going to be called housing2. And I'm going to do exactly the same thing, okay? Panda, which I'm abbreviating as PD, right? Dot read _ comma separated values, open close parentheses, quotations. And I'm going to paste my, that's not my file though, right? What I just pasted. That's just a folder where the file sits, agree? And all I have to do really is to add /, right? Now, let's actually see if it works. Because R and Python, I believe they're both weird. But typically your path, you have to separate folders, right, with the backward slash, right? I believe Python and R require /. So let's see if it actually works. It may not work, but let's see. And then I have to type the name of my file, right, which was California housing train, right? So California _ housing _ train means training set dot comma separated value, right? Dot
I need you
CSV.
to take that.
Say again?
Oh.
So it basically tells Python where to find my file, right? Which folder and what's the file name on my computer here locally, right? I'm not reading it from the internet anymore. I'm opening it from my computer. Okay? So that's what you should have. And if you try to run it, then surely enough it says no can do, sir. Okay? Well, here I have a bunch of errors. Did you get the same result? Bunch of errors, yeah. But that's probably, let's change all the backward slash to forward slash. That could be the reason. So forward slash C forward slash users forward slash blah desktop California housing train. Yep, that was it. So it's kind of, it's a little bit, I don't know quite honestly between us chickens, right?
How do you know when to use backslash and forward slash?
It's just experience. I mean, I know that R is weird this way. R, like your regular web addresses, not web, I'm sorry, the regular folder, right, the path to the file in the computer is done with backward slash. But in R, you have to change backward to forward slash, and the same with Python, okay? For some reason, they decided to change the generally accepted conventions and do things differently. I don't know why they did it, but that's what they did, okay? So in the path, all the backward slash you replace with forward slash, and then you can read the file. And let's just verify that it's the same exact content, right? All I did really before, I was reading the file from the URL on the web, and now I'm reading it from same exact information, but from my computer. So let's verify it. So I'm going to type housing2, because, oopsie, that was the name of my variable, right? Housing2, and if I hit enter, there it is. Same exact thing. Okay? Make sense? So pandas, like I said, is very popular package, okay? So every time when you start learning data analytics with Python, probably the very first thing that you will learn about is working with pandas. It's like a go-to place when it deals with importing the data, and so operating with files essentially and data, okay, data frames. Very powerful package, very popular, okay? Make sense?
No.
Any questions?
No.
All right. So I'm going to start this recording right here, okay?